Hello and happy International Women's Day.
হ্যাপি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল উইমেন্স ডে। আন্তর্জাতিক নারী দিবসে আপনাদের সকলকে অভিনন্দন।
Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
I am Julia MacKinday and I'm based at the IAVI Human Immunology Laboratory at Imperial College London. I'm a research scientist and my work focuses on understanding how the immune system tackles infections like HIV and how we can design better therapies to tackle them. We are applying new technological platforms and ideas on a daily basis to accomplish this.
My name is Clara Gutu. I'm a PhD student at Kemri Wellcome Trust Research Program in Kilifi, Kenya. I have been based at the program for a little over 8 years, working on clinical research, specifically around HIV, STIs, and more recently around COVID-19, coordinating and basically providing clinical oversight for the various vaccine drug trials.
I am Dr. Shohini Mukherjee. I work as a senior specialist in IAVI India lab. I am a protein chemist by background. I did my PhD in chemistry and I did my postdoctorate in biophysics and biochemistry. Here in my current position, I basically prepare different HIV-1 envelope protein and then study their structure and function using biophysical and biochemical tools. These HIV-1 proteins are so important because of their potential to be as a good vaccine candidate for HIV disease.
Hello, my name is Faith Ossia. I'm the Executive Director of the IAVI Human Immunology Lab. We're located at Chelsea and Westminster Hospital and we're part of Imperial College London. I lead a team that studies the human immune response to infectious disease and other toxins. We do this in population studies and in clinical trials. We work closely with other IAVI research centers as well as with clinical research centers in Africa.
Over the past year, a lot of us have had to change our rituals and the way that we do work, myself included. The current global challenges mean that we are working from home more and from our offices less. Working from home for me during the pandemic means that the boundaries between my work and home life are less clear. This is because I'm a mother to a 5-year-old and a 5-month-old. My morning rituals revolve around getting everybody settled and ready to take on their learning and play activities for the day. And then I grab myself a drink and some food to get me going. It has been an intense learning curve for everybody, particularly because research thrives on collaborations. I have learned new and exciting ways to work with my colleagues here in London and our collaborators around the globe as we continue to break new ground across all of our projects. On a personal level, I've had to come to terms with the process of giving birth to a baby during this lockdown. And childbirth continues to be a challenge for people all over the world at this time, with healthcare systems just basically grappling with the impact of the pandemic. It has been a really challenging and sometimes lonely journey for a lot of women like me around the world. Inequalities in healthcare systems between countries mean that some of us are hit harder than others. Given these challenges, I'm especially reminded today of the need to be kind and to offer support to everyone who needs it. I choose to continue to inspire the next generation of female scientists by offering my support to the learning and development of trainees across our research programs.
In terms of my rituals and what I do when I basically get up, I am a morning person. I do wake up quite early. I also have natural alarms, my 2 children within the household. I tend to read my emails as the first thing, probably as I take a cup of tea, just to set my mind in terms of what I need to do, what I need to prioritize for the day. And then I get into my work. The biggest challenge that I've had, of course, in 2020 with the COVID-19 was one, I did have some studies that I was meant to conduct as part of my PhD work that, of course, that didn't happen with the COVID-19 pandemic. We scaled down our research activities, our field work, and so those had to be put on the back burner. on a personal level, of course, it meant that also my children were now working from home or going to school virtually. And so at least for the first 3 months of their home learning, I became the teacher. And so this meant that I dedicated my mornings, of course, to overseeing their schoolwork. And so my own work also kind of moved to the background. And so I would say that was the biggest impact in terms of my own work. And of course, trying to adjust to being able to work from home and to have that work-life balance, of course, in the face of a pandemic, alongside the anxiety and the concerns that come around with being in this situation. My message to young female scientists, I would say, is get mentors. I think for me, what has really worked well is having a mentor who is basically charting a similar career path or trajectory to where I want to see myself. Talk with them, understand their personal journey, their goals, how they reached where they're reaching. And, always reach out to them when you're unsure and when you need, that encouragement and hope. So have a mentor, have people who you walk with in this journey. So happy International Women's Day, and stay strong and keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Being an experimental scientist, I had to come to lab every day, even during the lockdown in the pandemic, because it was almost impossible to work from home for an experimental scientist. And it was the biggest challenge for me to arrange the commute to reach to the lab. Another thing was that the chemicals and the reagent supply got delayed during this period, and access to different instrumental facility was almost very limited. So all these things impacted our work in the lab. Not only that, since I had to come to lab every day, so I always wanted to keep myself and my family healthy and safe. And on the personal side, I should say that balancing between my work life and my motherhood became way more difficult than before. So to me, science is a fun, and it gives me the opportunity to work for the living being. So the young, talented female researchers who love science and passionate about science, they should not leave their dream. Many hurdles or difficulties might be the roadblocks in their way to achieve their goal. That is why I should say to all the next generation female scientists that you should never stop. If you dream something, if you wish to do something, you should never stop until you reach your goal. Thank you.
What do I do every morning when I get up? The first thing is to make a huge cup of tea. And then I take a few minutes to remind myself what my major goals in life are, what I really want to achieve in life. After that, I quickly run through the tasks that I need to do today, the tasks that are urgent, and I prioritize those. What have my biggest challenges been during the pandemic? Well, it's really homeschooling. I have 3 kids, and it's been pretty exciting getting them organized for school every day during the lockdown. I have every respect for primary school teachers and teachers in general. How would I like to inspire the next generation of female scientists? I'd like to lead by example. I'd like to set my goals, keep my eyes on them, work hard, lift others along the way, and ultimately have an impact on the lives of those inflicted by infectious disease. Have a lovely International Women's Day. Thank you.